Now, soon after Debbie Wasserman Schultz stepped down and was booed Monday during a Florida delegation breakfast in Philadelphia, which, by the way, was awesome. I just remember people chanting, shame, shame. In fact, I've got some audio from that. No, I'm not going to do that again. Not going to do that. Anyway, so as I mentioned, Debbie Wasserman Schultz stepped down, and she immediately got a job as the honorary campaign chair for Hillary Clinton's campaign. That was like super fast. In fact, right after she stepped down or announced that she was stepping down, immediately, here comes that offer. I wonder if they had that all pre-planned. Could have been. Anyway, so after all that happened, her opponent and Bernie-crat Tim Canova made sure to remind his followers that he is also on a mission to take down Debbie in Florida and her home turf. Now, he wrote to his 20,000 Twitter followers that, quote, it's time to end her political career for good, and then shared a link to his fundraising page. Now, the result is that he had raised nearly $100,000 in the 72 hours since the DNC leaks and since Wasserman Schultz stepped down. That is amazing. Not only that, but as for a total, he's raised $2.3 million through the end of June. Now that's more than 3/4 of from donors giving about $200 or less. By comparison, Debbie Wasserman Schultz has raised about $3 million, and most of that, unsurprisingly, has come from political committees and large corporate donors. But of course, Debbie Wasserman Schultz is a corporatist. She loves her some of that sweet, sweet corporate money. Like, for example, from the payday lenders. And of course, in return, she attempted to defend them against new regulations. See, that's how this whole thing works. You get bribed by a politician, or by a corporation as a politician, and then you defend them when it comes to regulations. Or you deregulate them. Now, in that case, she was trying to prevent new regulations on the payday lenders, which, of course, those lenders are predatory, and they end up trapping people in a cycle of debt. I've borrowed from a payday lender before. Now, luckily, I didn't get in that cycle of debt, but I've been there. I've seen what that can do to people. It's awful. Now, Canova said that he has not held fundraising dinners and had never called a donor to ask for money. He says, quote, what the grassroots has done for me, I'm so thankful. If, when I'm elected, I won't owe a single thing to special interests. And of course, that's exactly what the American people are calling for, to have a politician that is not beholden to lobbyists and large corporations. And look, Trump, as much as I don't give him credit, almost half of the more than $26 million raised in the last month came from donors giving $200 or less. That's actually far higher than the usual small donor rate for a presidential candidate. Even Trump is getting nearly half of his money from small donations. That's crazy, man. Look, populism works, whether or not it's populism from the left, like Bernie Sanders, or populism from the right, like Donald Trump. Now, the sad thing is that his populism is filled with racial hatred and xenophobia. Not good. Not good at all. Which is why I preferred Bernie Sanders. Anyway, now as far as Canova is concerned, he doesn't want corporate money. He's entirely dependent, as I said, on pretty much small donations, and that's the way that he prefers it. He says, I hope I get to Congress and have a lot of people very jealous that I haven't had to dial for dollars. Maybe that'll inspire people to take the fundraising shackles off themselves. Now, we know that most members of Congress spend roughly about half of their day on the phone begging rich people for cash. Tim Canova, if he gets elected, he's going to stroll up in there and go, hey, you know what? I ain't got to do that. I can actually focus on the people that got me elected instead of the donors that paid for my campaign. That's got to be pretty liberating. And look, Bernie, he led the way on this. He showed people that you do not need to bow to corporations and special interests for campaign contributions. You don't have to do that. And Canova, and look, there are other Bernie-crats that are also running that are doing the exact same thing. And it's my hope, personally, that enough of those people get elected. And that when they do, a lot of Democrats who are sick of dialing for dollars, because I'm sure there are people out there who are in Congress right now that are tired of this system, that are tired of spending half their day on the phone with rich people and not being able to serve their constituents. I hope those people will turn around and say, wait a minute, you mean I don't have to beg rich people for money anymore? Awesome. Where do I sign up? What, how do I help get rid of money in politics? And look, that's the hope. That's the end game here. And this, getting these people elected, it could be the first step into doing massive campaign finance reform with the goal of getting all private money out of politics. And to me, that's integral to having a real political revolution.